The movie, like, pulls the rug out, then it pulls the floorboards, and then it pulls the foundation out, and then it's...
And then it depressurizes the ship. One of the elements that worked so well for me was the scene where the blood of the alien starts digging right through the hull of the ship. That scene, I was watching that, and I was like, oh my God. You were wondering if the ship was going to depressurize. That's one of the elements I really liked about it. And I like the use of rinky-dink technology in the movie. They land on the planet, they're not sure if they'll be able to take off again or if they'll even survive the landing. You see what I'm saying? I mean, whereas you look at the Star Trek movies, when they land on a planet, it's like, we know the technology's great. We know it's going to work, Here it's like we're not so sure. It's like when they fix something, is it going to stay fixed? Is it going to break again? Is everyone going to die? It's like, this, to me, this is more interesting writing by making the technology, I'm saying, more marginal. It's like when they're taking off and one of the engines is overheating, It's like, okay, is it gonna continue overheating? Are we gonna crash and die? It's like, that's more dramatic. That's more suspenseful. But to me, it's like Alien's just one of those rare occasions where it's just everything came together the way it should, and it's like the smallest detail in there you just don't even want to change it with. From the costumes to to everything in there. And one of the things that amazed me most about this was Sigourney Weaver, 19 years old, barely been in any movies, been a few, but small parts, like a bit part in Annie Hall. She's 19 years old, and they tell her, we want you to play this part of Ellen Ripley. We want you to play the heroine. We want you to play the sole survivor. And we're going to spend $200 million on the film. And we're going to spend another $200 million advertising it. He said she creamed her pants. She said, oh my God, this movie's going to make me a superstar. 19! It's like, wow, how many people... I mean, to me, this dwarfs the Sylvester Stallone Rocky story in terms of, oh my God, what a lucky break for an actor, One other note I want to mention, Lucky Star, that song that they used for the movie, You Are My Lucky Star, they had to pay $1 million to get the rights to that song.
Wow.
For the film. And they went to the people who owned the rights and asked them, what do you want? How much money do you want? We want to use it in this movie. And they said to him $1 million. And they said, pay him. They didn't even argue over the price. It was that critical to the story because it was like a soldier in World War I about to go over the top of the trenches into certain death, saying the rosary. You see what I'm saying? To get their courage up to face what they seemed possible odds to them. But Sigourney Weaver was doing that with that song. And to me, that was one of the most powerful scenes, not just in that movie, but in any movie, where she's scared out of her wits, and she's saying that to get her courage up. You are my lucky star! Yes, you are my lucky star! Lucky!
Well, okay.
Well, I don't do it right, but you see what I'm saying, where you almost feel like, as I was watching that, I was almost in tears. Like you really feel like she is really in danger and she's really scared out of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that scene was so critical to the film. It brought it home. I thought it was so funny. The filmmakers, they know they're spending $200 million on this movie anyway. What's another million? It's like, here.
Put it on my tab.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll get it back. When it comes out. They critical to the movie. They didn't even haggle over the price when they asked for $1 million for it. They said they just sent someone over with a check, sign the contract. Here's $1 million. They didn't even argue with them. How rare is that? It's like, we need this song. It's not even debatable. $1 million, fine. That's 50 commercials on TV. When we're going to advertise it, about the equal to that. But I mean, how many film stories like that? You see what I'm saying? Alien's one of them. It's almost like the behind the scenes was, just as interesting as what was going on in front of the camera. And by the way, Bruce Dern tried to get the part of Captain Dallas in the movie. They considered him for the part of Kane. He's like, no, that's too small of a part. I want Captain Dallas, you know. But when he was told that they wanted Tom Skerritt for that part, he's like, good choice. He's even a better actor than I am. You know, he thought that was actually the right choice. And, you know, but Dern, you know, for him to say that about another actor, because he's phenomenal, you know, to say he's a better actor than even I am, you know, that's a huge compliment. But yeah, you know, Skerritt, he said that movie turned around his life too. He said he went from being a working actor who was wondering if he'd have any money for retirement to being someone who knew that he could make a good living as an actor for the rest of his life from this movie. He said that's how big this movie was for him as an actor. He said it took him basically from the B list to the A list. But yeah, I mean, Veronica Cartwright, she got the part because she was in a Twilight Zone episode. You know, one of their most famous ones. But it's like, that's one of the great things about science fiction. You can be typecast into a genre without being typecast into a part. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's like you can play all these different parts, but it's like people, you know, I mean, look at what she's been in, you know. 2 Invasion of the Body Snatcher movies, Alien, you know, Twilight Zone. I mean, you keep seeing her pop up in science fiction. It's like, okay, we got a science fiction movie. Is Veronica Cartwright still alive? Can we get her? How about Sigourney Weaver? She's still alive. You know?
I think her
we're out of
tape
time.
might have run out. Yeah.